Welcome to MarcusG.tv. I'm Chef Marcus Guiliano.
And Jamie.
And today's mission is...
Talking about real foods. The demand for real food.
Real food, exactly. So we found a good article.
We did.
Want to read that article? It's from Nation's Restaurant News, which is a magazine, a periodical, that chefs get.
Yes.
Hotel executives get it. Executive
It's talking
chefs.
about all news and restaurants.
And anything food
service.
anything food service related. It's one of the. It comes out every week. A lot of people read it. A lot of chefs read this.
Yes. So consumer demand for real foods grows. Fresh, seasonal, and less processed ingredients sought after by millennials and baby boomers alike. Consumer expectations of food have been in a state of flux, driven in large part by dramatic demographic shifts. The huge baby boomer cohort is being supplanted by the massive millennial generation, and both groups are forcing a reconsideration of issues related to health and diet. Boomers seek to maintain youthfulness and vigor as they age, and millennials seek to do the ethical thing for their bodies and the planet. The net result is a steadily growing demand for so-called real foods, a term that is difficult to define and not governed by any formal standards of identity. Real foods do have certain hallmarks in common. They're typically perceived as fresh, seasonal, and less processed. Beyond that, their definition is fluid and evolving, and they afford operators a number of opportunities to address patron demand.
Yes, so the term is very open-ended when we talk about real food. Right, just like the word natural.
To us, what is real food to us? Real food to us is
food that's
plant-based,
unprocessed, foods that don't come in packages, foods,
not a lot of preservatives.
Real food is food you would have found 200 years ago.
Right.
300 years ago. Real food. Of course there wasn't refrigeration 200 years ago, but real food is food that's been unaltered.
Right.
Whether it's plant-based or not. I mean, fish
it doesn't necessarily have to be plant-based, but that was just part of what we would
That's part of my
consider.
personal diet.
Right, exactly.
So, this is...
So, young people are looking for more unprocessed food.
And so are baby boomers.
And baby boomers.
Because they wanted... Now, the reason why we switched to real foods years ago is because I was going through health issues. I was on lots of medications.
Right.
And I was able to get off all my medications by switching to real foods. 6 medications. Just able to throw out the window. Within 30 days, 90 days max, including my asthma, which was the longest, 90 days, but 30 days, everything was gone. And that's how quick real food works on your body.
There's a direct correlation from what you put into your body and what you're going to get out of your body.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people don't realize that, but people are starting to realize that.
People are starting to realize that.
They're starting to realize that there's a correlation between what you're ingesting and what you're going to get out of your body.
Some people have gotten that for years, have known for years, like we've gotten it for years.
We've gotten it for years,
But
yes.
when you firsthand experience a transformation in your health,
or somebody close to you,
when you see, the proof is in the pudding, right? When that happens, that's when it becomes powerful. A lot of people aren't sure because they'll eat one good meal, one bad meal. One good meal, 3 bad meals. So they're like, oh, well...
They have no idea.
Well, healthy food doesn't really work. Well, yeah, it doesn't work if you eat non-healthy food. You have to be... A lot of people are never committed to making the 100% change. And whether it's 95, it matters what you do most of the time, right? But many people they want to change, but they're not willing to work for the change. So it's like, okay, I'll have a healthy lunch, and then I'll go, to happy hour and, and eat some fish and chips, and,
Right.
It doesn't work like that. So real foods are clean. So now the article goes into a part talking about how certain restaurants are now coming clean.
Fast food restaurants.
Fast food restaurants.
Not even restaurants. I would say fast food restaurants.
These are fast food.
These are all fast food
So you want to read this next section?
A growing focal point of customer concern is food treated with antibiotics or hormones or containing artificial ingredients. And many operators are moving to allay their guests' fears. Early in 2014, Chick-fil-A announced, I don't even know how to say it.
You've never been in there.
Never even been in there. Announced a 5-year phase out of all poultry raised with antibiotics. While Panera Bread has been serving antibiotic-free chicken for a decade, the chain recently declared that it would remove all artificial additives and preservatives from its menu by the end of 2016.
That's great. That's great because people think Panera Bread's healthy. And when you go there, you can ask for their ingredients, and they'll give you the recipe book, and you'll go through things and see like MSG and other things and be like, oh, really? That's in the food?
There's a lot of crap in the food there.
Right.
Last December, Starbucks leapt into the fray by asking suppliers to halt the use of artificial growth hormones. Quick service hamburger chains, often a lightning rod for criticism, have also jumped on board. Carl's Jr. grabbed headlines by introducing the all-natural burger made from grass-fed, free-range beef that has been raised without added hormones, antibiotics, or steroids. The burger, which carries a premium price tag and scored extremely well in test markets, is being considered for sister brand Hardee's.
So, this is the interesting thing. These restaurants know what sells. These restaurants know the trend. Okay,
They know the trigger words.
They know the trigger words and they know the trend. They know that that everybody's after that. That these are buzzwords. That everybody's after real food. That real food is what's in, right?
Antibiotic, hormone-free, no preservatives, grass-fed, free range, no steroids. These are the buzzwords that are being used.
So they're using this as marketing.
Of course.
To attract new customers, to keep customers.
Right.
And of course they're doing it to make money because that's what everybody's here for.
But my question was, right? My question is, okay, great. They're doing these things, wonderful. But what about all of the other things?
Other things.
And ingredients and the buns and the soups and the salads and the dressings.
See, this is the point that was made with Panera real quick. So, okay, they're serving hormone-free and antibiotic-free chicken, right?
Right, but what's in that salad that chicken goes on top?
This is the part that the restaurants don't... The restaurants only take it so far to saying, okay, we're going to take 5 items and make sure these are good ingredients, or 4 items, or 10 items. But the matter of the fact is, everything else that's going to the food is just as bad. So
the perception is that the food is good at that restaurant because they're doing antibiotic hormone-free.
Right. But honestly, at Panera, I wouldn't eat there.
I have to say, we used to eat there because I thought it was healthy until I read some reports and I started looking at the menu.
Well, I read the book.
Actually haven't been there in a long time, and every time I think about when I'm around one, should I go or shouldn't I go, I actually choose not to go anymore.
Right. So one time I went in there years ago and I looked because I was really concerned about chemicals and everything. And so I opened, they gave me the book. I told them I had allergies. They gave me the binder and I'm looking through the salad dressing. Even the balsamic dressing had chemicals in it. So you're going to take hormone-free chicken and put a chemical-laden dressing on it. But people, see, this is where consumers don't understand because the companies do a great job at marketing. The consumer doesn't understand that everything else they're getting could be a major issue. So now, like, Carl's Jr. is doing a grass-fed burger, no hormones or antibiotics. How about the bun? Are they using brominated flour? Are they using white flour?
How about the cheese that goes on?
How about the cheese that goes on?
How about the
French fries?
Right.
Are the French fries, a non-organic, GMO'd potato? Are
How
they
about
cooking
the sauce that they put on?
Are the French fries being cooked in a GMO oil, non-expeller press, with added hexane gas? So, just because a restaurant says they're doing 1 or 2 things, I mean...
doesn't mean that it's a healthy choice.
Chipotle Grill, prime example, Chipotle Grill. Yeah, they've been using clean products. Everybody thinks, oh, they use such clean products. Have you looked at the ingredients on their tortilla? It's a disaster. The tortilla is a disaster, and that's what they're putting everything in, is a tortilla. So again, they're taking free-range chicken, they're taking tofu sofritos, and they're putting it in...
beans.
in a disaster of a wrap. So our thing at our restaurant is everything's analyzed.
We like know what all of the ingredients are.
I like to look at every single thing that comes in. I mean, even if it's the smallest ingredient, like our rice crackers a couple years ago, I switched to rice crackers because there was a questionable ingredient in it. And we ended up paying 50, 60% more for a much better, high-quality rice cracker.
Right.
But most people would never question a rice cracker, right? But there was something in there like soy oil or something that couldn't be verified as
GMO, right?
It wasn't GMO free verified. So I said there's no way that we can continue to serve something that's non-GMO verified.
Right.
And we switched brands of rice crackers. Our salt, our sweeteners, everything, we analyze every single thing, and that's what it's about. So when you're talking about eating healthy, it's not about cherry picking a couple items. It's not about cherry picking a meal. It's not about going to a restaurant that says, it's about encompassing the whole thing and
And
looking at
even
everything.
if it's all organic, doesn't always necessarily mean it's healthy
don't
too, right?
do not use the word organic to correlate health. That is the wrong thing to do, because you can still have organic French fries.
Right.
You can still have an organic cheeseburger, right?
Right.
You can still have organic like fish and chips, right? Because you can use organic egg, organic flour, organic
Right.
oil, and you're still frying it. Organic potato chips, organic French fries. These things are all still highly processed. You can still process organic foods to where they're not healthy for you.
Right.
So that's the key, is understanding, eat simple, make sure everything is healthy, and don't fall for these buzzwords from these restaurants, because they know. They're going to give you, it's like, okay, here's a great example. People know wine has resveratrol, and resveratrol is a great antioxidant.
Right.
And we should be taking resveratrol. It's a fountain of youth. It's one of the best known antioxidants out there. But let's give you some poison, some alcohol to get your resveratrol. It's the same thing. Let's give you some poison and everything else and tell you we're going to give you a grass-fed burger.
Right.
Okay, that's the issue with this, is you have to know everything.
Yes.
So we do it because
Well, we feel great from doing it, and
it's our personal
belief.
It's our personal belief, and we were doing this, I mean, long before any other restaurant even thought of doing this. I'm sure, well, Chipotle was out there doing free-range meats and everything a long time ago in the mid-90s. But as far as all these other places, even other restaurants, independent restaurants, sure, there was Alice Waters and Rick Bayless, but there was no farm-to-table stuff when we started doing it. There was no places touting real food. I mean, I've been cooking this way since '99, which is 16 years. And we do it because that's how we eat.
That's what we believe in.
That's what we believe in. We're not here to trick people and say, here's some grass-fed beef.
But it is really difficult to go out. It's really difficult to make those choices, and it's really difficult to find other places that believe in the same things that we believe in.
It is so difficult. That's why when we go out to restaurants, I eat as little ingredients as I possibly can.
And we ask a lot of questions.
A lot of questions. Just give me a plate of veggies. Don't put any butter on it. Don't put any oil.
Right.
Just give me a plate of veggies. You know, we bring our own salt.
We make the best choices that we can make when we go out, and not always are they the best, but they're the best at the moment or at the time.
But we really pick restaurants that are doing the right thing. If we go out to eat for a special occasion, we're going to go to a restaurant that we can trust. We trust the chef. We know. If we're traveling, we really, really go to, like, there's a great website called Dine Green, dinegreen.com, which is...
Or we go to Independence.
But dinegreen.com is our green certification.
Right.
So if we're going to a green restaurant, there's more chances. And if you open up dialogue and understand you found them, hey, I found you on the green dining guide, that'll open up, oh wow, that's great. Let's find out what they can do for us. So restaurants are more open when you tell them those kind of things. Because then they know you're coming there with the expectation of eating green, or eating healthy, or eating vegetarian, or eating organic. Call ahead of time, make sure they can accommodate
Ask
you.
questions.
And I'm not saying go to a restaurant and just be a total strickler, but you honestly have to put your own health in your own hands, because other places aren't going to do it for you. And going to think that you're eating a grass-fed burger or sofritos from Chipotle is eating the healthiest meal is not the healthiest meal. I mean, who knows what they cook those sofritos in, the tofu? Are they cooking it in GMO oil?
Right.
Are they adding sugar to it? What are they doing? You don't understand, in a restaurant, we have so many choices to serve bad food in a restaurant, because every ingredient that we have, that we buy, is typically a commodity product. And unless a chef is willing to pay above and beyond the price of the commodities, these restaurants are using cheap commodity stuff. So even the farm to table, even that kind of stuff, they're still using the worst sugar, the worst salt, the worst oil, the worst sweeteners. They're using the worst of everything to highlight a couple of things.
I saw something the other day that said something about the price of something. So you pay more at the beginning, but you pay less after not going to the doctor.
Right.
Co-pays, things like that.
The price is there. The real price is there. And, we like to pay the real price up front. We like to pay for a fair business model to a family who's doing the right thing, to a community that's doing the right thing.
You get what you pay for.
You get what you pay for. You get, somewhere along the line, something's being exploited.
Right.
Okay? And the cheaper something is, the more it's getting exploited. There's no way you can just keep that system going and going. Look at California. California's been so exploited for decades with all the agriculture there and the tapping into the water. They keep tapping deeper and deeper and deeper into these ancient reservoirs, underground
They don't
reservoirs.
have a lot of water
They
left.
don't. Yeah, and their answer is just keep drilling more. But yet Nestle's there, and these big corporations are there raping the state of water, and everybody's put on they impose people from like washing their cars now and things like that, and the $500 fines.
Oh, wow.
Why don't you shut down Nestle's water bottling facility? Why don't you look at the people who are using the most amounts of water and work with them to lower their reduction, to lower their usage? It's just amazing. But there's a lot of facets when it comes to a restaurant to be able to say, okay, we can make the power to serve a better meal and save the environment, preserve the environment, one bite at a time.
You got it.
I'm Chef Marcus Guiliano.
And Jamie.
Thanks for watching.
Press like, subscribe, leave your comments below.
And go out and get some real food.
Have a great day.